So here are some things.
Hello and welcome to episode 5 of the Some Things podcast. I am Dylan, and I am joined with me once again is the child who is clearly not the favorite of the family.
It's me, Luke!
What was that voice you did at the beginning of this episode, dude?
The other one?
Yeah.
Here are some things.
Oh my gosh, man, that was just... I don't even know where to begin with that thing.
You don't like that voice?
Well, again, I like you. I like your voice. It caught me off guard. I didn't know you could flex that much with your throat muscles.
I wouldn't call it flexing. Teenagers can do this all the time.
Well, yeah, that's when they're going through puberty, but I thought you were past this.
I got past it, but I learned some things from it.
Okay. Oh, yeah? Like what?
Like this. That's about it.
Oh, okay, just that. So you came in with a superpower, pretty much.
Of course.
Yeah, because like you're blessed. You're blessed in that regard. I mean, you're good at sports. You're good at flexing your voice, throat, and muscles there. And yeah, you look pretty
I'm the luckiest man alive. And I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Because I was born here in America, in California, during this time. Boom. You can wipe out like 8 billion people. I got this lucky. I was born into a good family, and to put myself above the rest of my family, I can do this.
And yet you're still not the favorite, which is sad. But hey, anyway.
I'm not convinced.
I'm pretty convinced. I mean, I married your sister. She's pretty... All right. So that being said, so once again, Luke, we'll kick it off as usual. How was your week this week?
My week has been pretty good. This was my last week of summer vacation.
Yay.
So I'm going...
Not yay. Yay, nay?
No. I mean, it was yay, but now it's over.
Okay.
I go to school tomorrow.
Tomorrow,
Monday.
I don't like school.
I know. But other than that, it's been good. We went to a camp out with our church, the men's retreat.
Oh, yeah.
And that was fun, except for one thing.
What's that?
I broke a bracket off of my tooth, my braces.
Oh, jeez.
So it's just like twirling around in there, hanging on the wire, and it keeps poking my lips where they're not used to being poked.
Gosh,
so,
and you can't really use wax to try to even cover that one up because it's just hanging at an awkward angle.
I could probably try. I might try tonight, but that on top of slightly chapped lips, it's just, I'm dying, and now I got to go to school tomorrow.
Just tasting blood everywhere.
So the week was good. What's ahead is not going to be fun.
Yeah, I can imagine, but I won't because I don't have to because I'm not in school anymore.
Must be nice.
Yeah, well, I wish I had, honestly, I wish I had some kind of direction where I wanted to go and what I wanted to do with my life, but for now I'm just kind of, making my way through jobs.
Your direction is forward.
My direction is go and shoot everything in your way.
Seems reckless.
Yeah, just a little bit, like God's love, because that's what God's love is. It's reckless.
We sang a lot of that this weekend.
Oh, my goodness. Anyway, so let's see. My week, on the other hand. Oh, you know what? Folks, I apologize so much. We forgot to introduce John. Hey,
he's got the peanut butter again.
Yep, once again, he decided to ditch out on the podcast and go eat a jar of peanut butter to himself. So, it's... Folks, we know that there can be some developing addictions, and sometimes it doesn't always show, but let me tell you right now, it shows. John's definitely eating a jar of peanut butter right now by himself, because that's all he ever does when he's away from this podcast.
Yeah, guys, we need to make sure we can convince John to stop this. So do us a favor. Go on our Facebook or Instagram page and just put on there praying for John.
Yeah, thoughts and prayers appreciated. Again, he needs to get off this peanut butter addiction.
So yeah, let us know, and let him know, most importantly, that you're praying for him. So like I said, post it on that Instagram page, that Facebook page. Let him know you love him and care about him.
Yeah, it went from creamy and smooth peanut butter to chunky with like the little bits of peanut in there, and then now he's just flat out chewing nuts himself to like try to like make it as he's chewing it, making it in his mouth like the creamy peanut butter. It's just,
honestly, he's not even in the room right now.
No, he's
not.
Because
it was too loud. We kicked him out. So
yeah, his addiction got the better of him. We said, hey, no, you can't have this addiction and be on the podcast at the same time. It's just,
we'll see if he joins us this week, but as of right now, we can't let him in the room.
Yeah, just all up in prayers. So
pray for John.
Pray for John, guys. Let's see. Oh, so my week. There's a couple things I'll probably discuss later on in the podcast as far as entertainment goes. Yeah, look forward to that.
Entertainment,
yeah.
We do that?
I try to entertain people. I don't know about you guys, but I figured that's why I made this podcast.
I just be me and people laugh at me.
Well, Luke, it's because they want to laugh with you. You're adorable and you're funny.
Some people say, no, I'm laughing at you.
Well, that's me occasionally, but
yeah.
I mean, it's because we love you. Yeah, man, my week. it was definitely a little bit of a drag. Like, I don't know what the heck happened. Like, work was fine enough, going through and everything. I don't know if it was just things after work or just getting through the workout routines that I had daily. Just, I don't know. Something was just kind of slow and whatever. I don't know, monotonous. I think it's just everything's kind of blurring together at one point. But
So you're feeling like wiped out.
yeah, I was definitely wiped out. I was, oh man, once again, we're recording the podcast on Sunday. And so Friday night, I was looking forward to the weekend. And just, again, being able to relax, not really have to worry about too much, again, being at work or whatever. But yeah, it was just, like I said, it wasn't bad. I was happy because they actually, at the job I have, like I said, I work in a warehouse, and usually they have me hanging up clothes, but I was actually able to go back onto like more physical labor, which is always my thing. I love moving around and working with my hands and stuff. Not that I was necessarily fixing things; I was just moving giant boxes. I'm like, I'm a man. Yeah, I was getting my flex on.
Well, you look manly.
Oh, thank you, baby.
And you don't even have a box in your hand right now.
I don't have a box in my hand or a chesticle hammock. I don't have nothing in my
Oh
hand
my
right now.
goodness. The chesticle hammocks again.
They're back. All right. But yeah, one highlight of my week I was really excited about. I kept seeing announcements and ads on my Facebook page for this event, but I actually bought tickets to go to the Halo convention in Anaheim this weekend.
The Halo convention?
Yes, the oh wait, I can't get copyright infringement here. I don't want to get sued. But,
It's
yes.
okay. Nobody recognized it.
Yeah, God, I thought I was doing good. I like that song. Again, I love the Halo game franchise, so I'm super excited and stoked to go. And again, it's from I'm only going one day out of the 3, but again, I figured I wouldn't be able to get Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off from work. I mean, the weekends are one thing, but having the 3-day weekend when we're already having Labor Day the following Monday, it would have been
Oh,
cool.
so you're going next weekend?
Yeah, so this upcoming
Oh.
Sunday, September 1st, is when I'll be going to the Halo convention at the Anaheim Convention Center.
Wow.
Yeah, and from there's a lot of stuff to do there too. It's like from what I've seen, they're gonna have like almost like a VR laser tag thing where it's like you actually look like you're a Spartan in like a field, like going through combat and stuff. So that should be fun. It's like teams of 3-on-3. Then they also have like life-size mannequins of the actual size comparisons to like say elites or grunts or whatever else other creatures that you would encounter in the game. And so there's like all kinds of things. I'm really looking forward to it. Can't say how stoked I am. I know it really doesn't sound that way, but I'm excited for it.
You should make a vlog.
Maybe. I was thinking about that this weekend when we went to a minor league baseball game. I was going to do some stuff like that. But you know what? This convention center could be something to kick that off. And I'll just kind of give like video updates and stuff and talk to people and say like, hey, I'm checking in. But I'm in an awesome place and you're not. So enjoy it.
That's what Instagram is for.
Definitely. Yeah.
Look at how good my life is.
I'm going to make you jealous with my flexing. But all right. Yeah. And so randomly enough, I don't know about you, Luke. But for me, and you've known me now for what? I've been married to your sister for 2.5 years, but you've known me since 2010, 2011, like as far as really getting to know each other. You know that I like to do Christmas shopping.
Yes.
And get it done early.
Yes.
And so my question to you is, how early is too early? I don't know about you listeners. For me personally, like I've just mentioned, I like to get my Christmas shopping done out of the way. No joke. I have had Christmas gifts wrapped, paid for, bought everything, no credit debt on buying these gifts, everything taken care of by the time November rolls around. And I'm talking like even gifts already wrapped, sometimes even in as early as October. And we're going into September already, and I'm kind of getting the itch to start buying everyone's gifts already. And so again, I just like to get things out of the way, have it taken care of, and just know that, hey, once Christmas rolls around, I got your gift, and everything's good, and I don't have to worry about frantic shopping and crazy people trying to run over.
Did you say frantic shopping?
Frantic. If it came across as crantic, I mean,
I've never heard of crantic before, but frantic.
Well, no one's ever heard
sense.
of Swazzy, but I'm making that work.
That's true, but that sounds cooler. Crantic just sounds like
it's
the
like
word to describe Bryan Cranston.
Frantically constipated. Maybe that's what it is.
It's like if Bryan Cranston does something, then it was a little bit crantic.
We should get Bryan Cranston on the show.
Hey, come on the show.
Dude, that'd be awesome. You're done in this city. but yeah, so what do you think, Luke?
So wait, hold on. You're telling me you haven't done your Christmas shopping yet?
I haven't started, but
Wow.
I'm like I said, I'm definitely feeling the itch. It's starting to come around, and once I get, I think, my card paid off, I'm definitely going to want to start diving into it more and like getting the list organized and everything. And what's nice is with my little Amazon card, I'm able to get 5% cash back, so I end up making money in the long run.
I thought you were the kind of person that got it done in like June.
Well, okay. So as far as earlier months, what would happen is I'd get lists together. Say if I see something in the store and I'm just like, so and so is gonna like that gift. I'm going to pick that up for them either now or I know that's the item I'm gonna get for them once it rolls around. So like I'll get lists and stuff together, and then like I said, once it starts again, late August, early September is when I actually start shopping and purchasing said gifts.
Right. Yeah. I think that's crazy still. I'll tell you when I do my shopping. You and I are polar opposites.
Literally polar opposites on
I
this.
do the last few years, literally all of my shopping has been done on Christmas Eve for everybody.
Yeah, and I've made those trips with you, and it's annoying.
No, you haven't.
I've made trips with you before when we're
Not
like
on Christmas Eve.
okay, maybe not Christmas Eve, but like that last week, when we're shopping around, we're driving around store after store after store. Again, I'm with you trying to get you to buy these gifts.
Yeah.
I got folks. I just. Ugh,
Yeah, I do Christmas shopping the same way I do my homework, the night before. So
oh gosh. Okay, just a random side note aside from this Christmas debate we're into is I was talking to Sarah the other night how one of the things I did when our school, it's usually an elementary school, right? When you have like science fair projects.
Yeah.
Me and my sister, we had this one that we would do. It was literally I don't know if my older siblings did it, my older brother, my eldest sister, or if it was just me and my other sister, but we did this project where it would measure the heart rates of people when they would listen to different types of music.
wow.
You're welcome, folks. I figured I would include that one in there just to be fun.
That wasn't even close to the world record.
No, not at all. Again, but the fart record is what I'm really going for. That's what but I just don't. I'm gonna make sure I do it on John's mic so I don't
You're a
have to smell
basement
it.
kind of guy, huh? Not the attic.
Nope. Okay, but yeah, so with the science fair project is it would measure the heart rates of people as they would listen to either metal rock or hip hop, smooth jazz, like relaxing classical, whatever type of music, and
I like
it
smooth
would
jazz.
yeah, it would just kind of do the comparison between like, oh, so I think that the faster songs would have the faster heart rate, and pretty sure, go figure, they did. But so there would be several times throughout the year where or in different grades where it's like, oh, you have a science fair project and it's a mandatory thing. It's part of your final grade. And I would wait like you the night before and just tell my parents, I have to get this project done. But
Yeah.
I didn't think about it at all how long have you known about this? Maybe a month or so.
Yeah, I've known that Christmas has been coming for the last year,
Oh, yeah?
but
Weird.
I'm still going to do it all on Christmas Eve.
It's
And I'll tell you what.
okay.
I'll tell you the pros of my strategy, and I'm sure you'll have a rebuttal, but I'll tell you
Probably.
the pros of my strategy. First of all, if you buy too early, you run the risk of this person changing. If they change and they go through like a change in personality, they're going to have a completely different set of likes and dislikes.
Right.
You're going to get them this gift that's like irrelevant. That's my biggest fear. The next one is that maybe they'll buy it on their own
Right.
in that time period. And that worries me. So the advantage I have with buying on Christmas Eve is I know it's going to be relevant.
Right.
If they open it tomorrow, it's going to be good.
See, okay, so I will acknowledge with the second point you had with them possibly buying the gift themselves, out of the years I've known you guys, that's only happened once, and it was with a DVD, which thankfully was cheap enough to kind of buy, replace, whatever, and I got that person another gift.
Who was
But
it?
I don't know if I should say your dad.
Oh my
but-
goodness.
But so, yeah, that only happened to me once out of the years I've been doing this. Because when I go shopping, what's nice is since I usually do most of it online. Because again, I don't like the store hassle. I don't like people bumping into me, just crowded areas. It's I'm not necessarily
People like me. Just say it.
well, I wouldn't say so far as you. You're not rude when you're going shopping, but just
On Christmas Eve, I might be.
you're not rude.
That's true.
You're not rude, Luke.
I'm a good guy.
Yeah. So when I'm going through the stores, just I don't like dealing with the other frantic customers and stuff. But what's also beneficial to me is when I'm doing my online shopping, is I can have previous year's lists in front of me and I can kind of look it over and be like, okay, so I did already get this gift for so and so, and what I do is I can compare, make sure I don't buy the same thing twice. As long as far as previous gifts I've got them in other years, and then also I usually buy things that are kind of so random that 99% of the time, I was gonna say 9 out of 10, but 99% of the time people don't even know what I'm getting them, and so there's no way that they'll buy that same gift. Again, with
Yeah.
the DVD thing, that's something that's more commonplace that anyone can get anywhere, any store. But other times it's like random shirts, it's a random, music box or a random board game or something out there that they're not really going to know about, but that's something that I know this person will like.
Yeah.
Because I don't know about, again, you listeners at home, I don't know what you do for your techniques, but when I go shopping for somebody, I usually chalk them up to, and not to say that they're only this, but as far as their hobbies and interests, I get like the top 3 to 5 things and I go off of that because it narrows down my searches. I'm able to focus in on, okay, this person really loves this TV show. They really love this sports team. They really love whatever, insert blank. And then I just hone in on the gift and I know when I see it, that's the gift I'm getting them.
It's a Funko Pop.
9 times out of 10.
Remember that Christmas, though? We had one Christmas where there were like 13 Funko Pops given.
Yes.
And everybody was just sitting there with this pile of Funko Pops like,
What am I going to do with it?
it's overkill at this point. We're good to never get a Funko Pop again for
Yeah,
Christmas.
after that explosion of a year. Because I know there's been times when I've done that, but I try to do like combo gifts. So it'll be a Funko Pop and something else, not just the one thing. But I know the Funko Pop will be something, hopefully, that they like. I know I like to collect things a lot, but hey, to each their own. So
Yeah, in all fairness, you're a much better gift giver than I am.
Oh, thank you, Luke.
So my strategy is just kind of find something on their list, boom, check it off, move on to the next item. Which is why it works okay on Christmas Eve.
Right.
'Cause I just zip, zap, zoop, and I'm done.
I want to say, Luke, too, I think I still have your Scarecrow gift that you gave me.
Oh my goodness.
Folks, if you know The Office, which hopefully most of you should, because that's such a great TV show when it was on the air, we love it. That episode where Michael's saying goodbye to people and he gives Oscar the Scarecrow that looks like it's just a burlap sack with some cotton stuffed in a head and a little string tying it off. My
It
brother
looks like a 2-year-old
Yeah.
monkey on a farm made it.
Yeah, my loving brother-in-law here gave me that gift, and I believe I still have it in my closet somewhere because it's just too good. It's too good to get rid of.
We should get that. Send me a picture of that. We'll post that.
Oh, yeah,
so people
okay.
can take a look at it.
Yeah, we'll post it on the gram on
Hey,
the line.
that was a very creative activity by me. It was as good as I can do.
Yeah, I appreciate Luke for what he's done for me. He's a very sweet boy.
Honestly, that was probably the best gift I've ever given.
That
Yeah,
that's
because
the
like,
best.
it wasn't just like check it off the Christmas list. It was like, let me think of something that's actually going to be good.
Okay, so there's more thought behind it.
Yeah, and it was like a lightning struck my head, and I had that idea. I don't normally get ideas like that, so
Right. Yeah. Well,
I had to capitalize on that one.
Again, I just remember I can kind of picture it now when I was opening that gift, just wondering what the heck did he get me? Because I know you and your siblings, what you like to do is kind of check the gifts under the tree and you shake them up and get a feel like, okay, I think it's this, I think it's that. I did not see that one coming. I'll be honest, but I was just like, for a second it caught me off guard too because I didn't realize. I'm like, wait, what is this? And then I thought back to the episode. I'm like, oh, now I get it.
Yep.
But,
Hey, that reminds me though. Like,
reminds you?
yeah. So you partook in the gift shaking.
Yeah. Well, I actually what I've tried to do to steer you guys away from that is I've brought bigger boxes that have your guys' entire gifts in them. So I don't
I
like.
know that, but what
Yeah.
you did that year was you joined us in the gift shaking.
Did I?
That's what it sounded like.
Well, no, okay, because I just remember, like, me, I'll look at the gifts. I don't usually like picking up and shaking. Like, I like to observe and try to get a feel for what I think it could be. Like, because again, I don't know. It just kind of takes the not the fun out of it. I know you guys like it's kind of your family tradition to do that, so I don't want to.
We
knock
could
you
do
for that.
another debate on that one.
Oh, boy.
Gift shaking, okay or not okay?
Yeah, we could another podcast.
I know.
Yeah, but while we're here and in the spirit of giving, I would like to give you guys a story once again from the page of Reddit and the
Ooh.
"Am I the Butthole" story.
It's one of my favorite segments.
Oh, that's good. I hope you guys are enjoying these. Again, we do try to search around on Reddit and see, hey, which ones do we think are really gonna hit and make people laugh. But we do what we can to find these stories. And like I said, I hope you're enjoying them at home.
Reddit, partner with us.
Yeah. Do they? Can they sponsor? Is that a thing?
I don't know, but we can become partners.
All right. Yeah.
It could be like, I don't know. I would have to imagine for a while. Reddit, come up with something good. We're up for it.
Yeah, that could be fun. Yeah, we'll throw it out to the Reddit users. I know we're not the only podcast who uses Reddit as like a source for fun material. So, but that being said, all right. Am I the butthole for causing chaos in the office with my freakishly large deuce.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we're going back to the crappy stories again,
So
folks.
excited.
All right. Excuse me, I had another burp, but I didn't want to put it in your ear this time.
Oh, how polite.
I know. All right, so from the top. I have an irrational fear of people knowing that I am pooping, a fear which causes me to hold in longer than usual, resulting in Godzilla-sized mud pies when finally released.
A Mondo Duke, you could
Mondo Dukes, man. Office poops are the worst, and I loathe the idea of them. But last week when I went ahead and did the deed, knowing the possible outcome, it was a triumphant, a triumphant deuce if I ever seen one. there was a word there I wanted to scapegoat around, just to clarify. Started at the bowl, oh my gosh, started at the bowl and rising way above the water line. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 clogger.
I'm just imagining like the Ark of St. Louis.
Oh my goodness,
That must
man.
be what this thing looked like.
This must have been like the actual toilet snake that plumbers use to clear things out. This one was just going in, clogging it, man. Ugh. So, after 6 flushes and with 5-minute reloads, I realized that I was making no progress and missing out on work. There was no toilet brush there to poke it away, and I was going to ask HR for plumbing advice. With my heart pounding, I made a beeline for the exit, resumed my work, and prayed nobody noticed my absence, and then the next guy could flush it away. About an hour later, I heard someone chatter about a blockage, and my adrenaline started rushing. An office-wide email was immediately sent around to address the situation and mentioned how junior members of staff had to clean it up. Now the whole company knew, and I couldn't have felt worse. I hate people are laboring over my mess, and more so, I hate that the idea of people eventually figuring out I'm the one responsible, so I kept quiet. I work data entry for an insurance firm, so people in this office are usually bored out of their minds. But this conversation caused a buzz like I've never seen before. Speculation on who did it and hilarious eyewitness descriptions have been the topic for days and eyewitness descriptions have been the topic for days and show no sign of dying down. I initially kept participation to a minimum, overwhelmed with anxiety, but now I have started to settle into a weird sense of pride and joined in the banter. Even though no one likes to admit it, it caused the biggest boost in office morale I've ever seen, and the workplace has never been happier. Banter is at an all-time high, and I often hear roars of laughter from across the room on mention of the, quote, situation. I know it was a terrible thing to do, but it worked out quite well, honestly, and I'm overcoming some personal fears in the course of it. Am I the butthole? If not, I'm thinking of making this a regular thing. Edit. I'm one of employees. Wait, what? Edit. One of employees who cleaned it up quit yesterday, but I'm 99% sure that was unrelated. I'm guessing you meant to say one of the employees. Maybe that's what it was.
He forgot the.
Yeah, he left the out. The. So, Luke, 10 out of 10 clogger. What are you feeling?
Oh my! Well, he never ever told anybody.
No, from the
You're
sounds
telling
of
me
this,
he started making fun of his own poop without taking credit for it?
it seems like he joined in with the banter and the chatter around the office, but he was, again, he mentioned how he was just overcome with anxiety and fear because he doesn't like people knowing what's going on. He doesn't want to be known, and so he kept quiet. But now he's just kind of feeling things out. Like, he's not openly saying he was the culprit. He's just saying that. Yeah, that is crazy that someone took such a huge dump. Like that's what he's getting at with
This guy is the butthole.
This guy is the butthole.
I'll tell you, that's like the textbook definition of hypocrisy. Like it doesn't get any clearer than that.
Any more clogged?
I mean, it's not that bad, I'll admit. But if I had to choose an answer here, yeah, this guy's the butthole. And on top of that, most of us would only dream of taking a dump this glorious.
Right.
He finally gets one. He's going to keep it to himself? Really?
Shoot, man, I'm in a weight loss program. If I took a dump that big, I'd be bragging about it. I lost 10 pounds in the bathroom.
But yeah, this guy, he releases this monster. You could tell he was proud of it, too.
He released the Kraken.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. That could be another segment on its own. Different euphemisms. But yeah, he releases this monster, releases the Kraken.
Mm-hmm.
And then keeps it to himself. He wasted the opportunity that someone like you or I would have been happy to take advantage of.
Well, take advantage how? No?
I'm honestly, if I released something like that couldn't even be flushed after 6 flushes, he said 6.
Ugh.
If I released something like that, I'd be going to my work buddy and be like, dude, you'll never guess what I left in the bathroom.
Ugh,
It's
man.
like you feel like more of a man if you can do that.
Just dropping off a chocolate mud baby.
Oh my!
I guess what do they call that, mud pie or whatever. Yeah, I think this is one we can agree on. I think he is still the butthole in this case because again, speaking from experience as someone who did have to clean up bathrooms and toilets back at my janitorial job at Target, I would have hated to have been the one to clean this up. It would have been a nightmare. I wouldn't have wanted to have to deal with it, but knowing that it had to get rid of and the job fell to me, like it fell to his newer, higher coworkers, I think the story said.
Yeah. I wonder what they did.
I don't know. Maybe like what he said. They just had to find a brush to kind of break away at it and then flush it in segments.
Break away at it. The way
just chip away the marble.
you couldn't have described it any worse than that.
What would I supposed to say? It just he
I
dropped
mean, accurate, but like
he dropped a brown anaconda in the toilet, man. It just that snake did not want to flush.
just had to chop it in half. I guess I don't know.
Cut the head off the beast. Yeah, again, it's a funny story. Kind of, it's funny to listen to. Funny that he's getting involved, and it's good. Kudos to you. You're getting over your anxiety in a little bit by talking to people about it. But yeah, I'm sorry. I think we're gonna have to side in the form of butthole on this one.
Yeah, sorry, man.
Yep.
That's what happens when you release things like that from your butthole. You don't take credit for it. You become the butthole.
I can only imagine how torn his colon and just that's got to be ripped. There's no way. How do you survive that? If he's talking about Godzilla-like dumps and he does this I guess he does it regularly.
Does it regularly?
That's just, me and my bowels have never been that close. We're not that tight, man.
Okay.
Well, okay. You tell me you haven't had those times where you try to go to the bathroom and you think you feel something and you're like, okay, here we go. It's like me my bathroom. We're gonna do this. Me and my bowels. We're gonna get it done. And then it's just like, nah, I'm not coming out.
Dude, yeah. I already talked about men's retreat. Speaking of camping, every time I go camping, that happens to me. I'll go like the entire day, and I'm like, I feel like there's something in there, but I go and there's no pressure.
Right? Yeah. Nothing comes out.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So before I move on to our entertainment podcast, entertainment portion, hopefully you guys are being entertained by these stories. I do have one more now that my mind's kind of getting jogged. There was one time where I went on another men's retreat. It wasn't with our church, but it was with my friend's church, who I happen to be associated with, and they're nice enough people. And so it was like a men's getaway for a weekend. We did like shooting and stuff like that. Had, I think, chili, barbecue, whatever for dinner, like hot dogs, something like that.
Sounds manly.
But yeah, so we have all this like man grub food and everything. And one of the guys, since we were going out to like the desert, it was just middle of nowhere. There are no restrooms, nothing around you. Again, if you needed to use it, you just go piss on a rock or whatever. And then if you had to go number 2, literally they had a shovel and you would dig up a hole and bury it. But thankfully, one guy actually brought one of those portable toilets where it's like you take a plastic bag and you still have like a toilet seat you can sit on, and you take a plastic bag, and what you're supposed to do is you do your business and then you bag it up and then you go bury that somewhere, so that way it's not odorous, whatever else. And there's like a little tent that goes around you, so that way you have a little bit of privacy. No one's just right there.
How big is this thing?
It height wise, it was probably over 6 feet. But
do you realize this guy had a porta potty?
I mean,
it's basically just a porta potty from what I'm hearing, but it was portable.
Yeah, well,
a portable porta potty.
Hey, it worked for me, man. All right, that's the purpose of the story that I'm getting to. All right, so basically this whole weekend too, I did have to go. I had to go number 2, and I was trying to hold it in because I didn't want to have to go dig a hole somewhere. But when I found out this guy had his porta potty,
his contraption,
for contraptions, I figured, okay, I'm gonna go.
If it rhymes, it's funny.
Exactly. So I figured, all right, I'm gonna go use his little tent pooper here, and it was a blessing and a curse at the same time, because blessing in the sense of, hey, I can somewhat poop comfortably out here in the wild. However, nobody else took their bags out.
Oh,
guys, basically how this guy was talking about logs being left, and people, the reason why there's water in your toilet bowl is so you don't have to smell the actual odor coming out of your behind. And with no water in a portable toilet seat, you just smell everything. And there were just snakes in there, and I had to add on my mess to that and then bag up someone else's crap as well. It was rough. But
I don't know what I would have done in that situation.
I just had to go, man. I had been trying because again it was only a 2-day trip, and so it was like a Friday evening, all day Saturday kind of thing, and I was trying to hold it in as much as I could and put it off so I can just get back home to my actual home bathroom or whatever. But I just had to go, and duty called.
I'm just not sure I would have bagged it. You're more of a man than I am.
What else was I supposed to? I didn't want to be rude for the next guy.
I know. But I would have been that guy.
You would have been the guy who. All right.
I would have been the butthole.
See, this is why I do my shopping early. But all right. So moving on from crappy stories, folks. Like I said, we are now entering the entertainment portion of the podcast. Yeah. So one fun thing. I just got an email notification, Luke. I know I've talked to you, your family members, whoever else is around me, because I rant and rave about this show every year. The Trans-Siberian Orchestra has announced their tour dates for 2019.
Wow.
Yeah, and you know what date that the tour falls on for California? Or at least for our area of California?
Christmas.
I wish, honestly. But it actually falls on your sister's birthday.
Oh.
Yeah. So, people, for those of you that don't know...
Your wife?
My wife, I almost said the podcast. The performance is going to happen November 30th. That's a Saturday. They have 2 showings, I believe, one at 3 o'clock, one at 8 p.m. I usually aim to go to the evening shows because it's just a fun way to end the night. And it's such a good performance, just an awesome, epic show. They have pyrotechnics. They have great graphics for their music. The vocal performances are outstanding. The instruments are phenomenal. People, if you have a chance to go, I highly, 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 highly recommend it. I believe tickets should go on sale within the next few weeks. I believe that's if you're a fan club member kind of thing, or if you have access through any kind of specialty credit card you may have. They give early access sales and stuff.
What about Groupon?
Groupon might have it later on.
Us.
I don't know off the top of my head. I know usually for us, what we try to do is I'll actually call up the place because I like sitting in the upper balcony section. I believe it's at the Citizens Business Bank Arena in Ontario. Right. That's where it's been the last few years. And if you get the upper, so where the stage is, you get the upper balcony that faces it, and you see everything, and it's so amazing. They change it up every year. I mean, they'll have somewhat of the same songs, but they'll either add in different ones each year. But then they also change up how the technical stuff works. So some years they've had people get raised up on almost this liftable balcony from the front stage, and so they'll be up above the crowd on the kind of closer floor levels. They have pyrotechnics shooting out at you. You know, you could feel the heat coming from these pyrotechnic guns and everything.
Fireworks and everything.
Yeah, indoor fireworks definitely. But then they've also done this thing last year where they had these platforms that would actually raise up, and if you were in the upper balcony, these people were basically getting right up close to you. Like they'd have the lead guitarist, I believe, and this awesome chick who just rocks on the violin, man. Wow. She kills it every year, and just they'll rotate around and they get a spin and see you, and they're like pointing like, yeah, this section cheer, that section, yeah. Just, dude, if there was something I was excited for, again, the Halo convention is one. This is another thing that yearly we've tried to make a tradition now, and it's again, phenomenal show. Please, if you need to do yourself a favor and you want to kick off Christmas right, November 30th, Citizens Business Bank Arena, Ontario. Be there to see Trans-Siberian Orchestra. You will not be disappointed.
I hear you. I can't wait. Yeah. For those of you who don't know, this is going to be my first year going because my brother-in-law, my co-host, is going to be buying my ticket for me.
That's a bold claim to make when I'm buying a ticket for your sister on her birthday.
We're related.
Okay. And what, just because you guys are sisters, you think I'm going to buy your ticket too?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe. I'll think about it.
Woo!
I said I'll think.
I just podcasted my way into a Trans-Siberian Orchestra performance.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. We'll see. Like maybe we got to work out a deal where you got to, give me some kisses or something,
Yeah, okay.
But so again, look forward to that, folks. It's going to be awesome. And then kind of taking a downshift now from excitement
to sadness.
Sony and Disney have split, And because of the fallout, like any bad parental relationship, the kid now pays the price. And poor Peter Parker, Tom Holland's Spider-Man, is no longer a part of the MCU because Sony wants to pull Spider-Man from the Disney contract. And again, they have pulled him from the Disney contract. He is no longer part of the franchise.
I've never experienced the sadness, the tragedy of divorce, but this is about as close as I'm going to feel.
Dude.
This feels tough.
Yeah,
these two that we thought would be together forever, and they just couldn't work out their differences. And now we're losing. I mean, it's like they got custody of our brother Peter.
Yeah.
He's gone.
He's done, man. Like,
Which is funny because I have an actual brother named Peter.
Yeah, sadly he didn't get to play Peter Parker, but
yeah, they got Peter
maybe
Parker.
Next year. Yeah. Yeah, dude. It sucks because I know they had big plans for everything, especially after, we won't say what, but there was the big reveal at the end of the last Spider-Man movie. There's just all this stuff going on where they were leading the franchise and everything. And clearly Peter Parker was supposed to be a huge part of the Phase 4 MCU and everything. But I'm praying and hoping that they get something worked out because I've heard kind of both sides of the story where in the original contract, Sony was getting 95% of whatever deals and money were being made.
Yeah.
And Disney was only getting 5%, but at the same time, Disney was doing a lot of the footwork of putting things out there, obviously, trailers, whatever else, to kind of publicly, not publicly announce, but just produce, kind of get the excitement and everything else going around the Spider-Man movies. And so they're doing like all the footwork, all the grunt work and everything. But on the flip side, I heard, again, my facts here, folks, I'm going to be a little rough and not rugged's not the right word, but I know I'm sucking at this. So if you want to delve into the situation more yourself, please do so. I'm not the end all be all of fact check. But that being said, going into the Sony side of things, again, the original contract was like a 90 to 10 or 95 to 5% split sort of thing, leaning in Sony's favor. But I think I remember reading something to where it was talking about how that 90% that Sony was getting is for something through Spider-Man licensing that doesn't really make a lot of money. And so therefore, even though Disney's only making 5%, they had a control over other aspects of Spider-Man that were making them money still. But Sony, even though they made this deal with Disney, still wasn't making a lot of money, or it was something to that effect, or trying to, again, be fair and balanced here with both sides. I don't know the full details. Like I said, check into it for yourself. But needless to say, and regardless, getting back to what's the main issue at hand here is, again, Tom Holland not being part of the MCU anymore, which I'm sad about. He was again, I believe, Stan Lee's favorite Spider-Man. Stan Lee gave him that acknowledgement, same way he gave RDJ the acknowledgement for Tony Stark.
Yeah.
So it sucks. It sucks to see. I hope they can work out a deal. Whatever contract renegotiations need to happen. I don't want to see Tom Holland not be part of the MCU anymore, especially where the future's going. They talk about X-Men movies. I know that Eternals are coming out. Not necessarily saying that Spider-Man's going to interact with everyone, but it just seems like it's going to be an exciting adventure for any actor in their career to be a part of.
Yeah. My favorite meme on this one, the one that hit the hardest, was when Tony Stark is talking to Steve Rogers, and he says, "I lost the kid."
Oh, I know.
And they put the Marvel logo on.
Yeah.
Or no, it was the Disney logo
yeah.
on Tony Stark,
and then
the
Marvel was
logo
on Captain America. Yeah.
And it was rough.
The other rough ones I keep seeing are Spider-Man Homeless is the next next sequel for
Spider-Man
the trilogy.
Homecoming, Spider-Man Far From Home, Spider-Man Homeless.
Ugh, poor Tom Holland.
I'm gonna miss him.
Yeah.
I still hope they work things out, and I think they will. There's no way Spider-Man is getting rebooted again.
Well, here's what concerns me is Sony, I believe, took lead on the Venom project with Tom Hardy and everything, and they've made statements saying and claiming, this is on Sony's end, that they think Spider-Man can succeed without the help of the MCU or Disney specifically.
They are wrong. They
really,
already tried it twice.
They really are, and I believe what's going to end up happening is they're going to... Here's what I think is Sony's not going to try to make a deal. I hope they do. I don't think they will, though, and they're going to try to fit Tom Holland into the Tom Hardy Venom stuff because they're going to have Venom. I believe they said Carnage is the next villain for the sequel movie of that. And they're going to try to fit him into their storyline. And granted, the Tom Hardy Venom wasn't the worst adaptation. I know I do wish I would have seen that classic white spider on his chest, but again, that comes from the symbiote fusing or being with Peter Parker as Spider-Man. That's how it came about, and so they didn't even show that in the Venom movie on his chest, on the symbiote suit.
Right.
But I think that's where they're going to try to spin it and think that, oh, well, because we had Tom Hardy and his movie was somewhat a success, we think Spider-Man will be fine because we'll have so-and-so to play him. I don't know. I don't even know if Tom Holland's going to be the Spider-Man in their type of Spider-Man movie that they're trying to make later on to either tie into the Venom movies or be their own thing through a Sony storyline. And it's going to suck to see because they had such high hopes and they had a direction, a clear path what they wanted to do with Tom Holland and Spider-Man in the actual MCU universe. So
yeah, and I don't know. I'm kind of split on this. On the one hand, Disney probably should get more credit for Spider-Man than Sony,
right?
Just because they're doing it better than Sony ever has.
Yeah, Disney's just not getting home runs with these movies.
Yeah, but on the other hand, it was Disney who was like, "I'm not satisfied anymore. I got to renegotiate this deal," and they lost.
Right,
and they were the ones that walked away. So that's what hurts. It's I don't know who to blame for this one. Somebody's got to make it right.
Both these parents. We need someone to adopt Tom Holland, please.
Yeah. I don't know what to think about this. I don't know who's at fault. I just hope it gets fixed.
Yeah, it needs to be fixed for sure.
Are there any other movies we can use to distract ourselves from this? Is there anything good to look forward to?
You know, now that you mention it, I did see some articles come out on Facebook talking about how Matrix 4 is going to come out, and it's supposed to have most, if not all, of the original cast. I believe Keanu Reeves is going to be in it.
Jump on that Keanu Reeves hype train.
Oh yeah, that's basically what they're doing. And I know, I don't know the film directors' names off the top of my head, but I do believe when they first made the Matrix movies, they didn't have all the equipment and technology that obviously now movies do or have access to nowadays.
Yeah.
And so I think they'll make an even more epic one. I didn't quite follow. I believe I watched Matrix 1 and 2. I don't know if I ever finished 3. And so I don't know where exactly lore and backstory-wise things fit in, or where the storyline, plotline is going to go. But like I said, I believe the article did say Keanu Reeves is going to be in it. And I don't know the chick's name off the top of my head, who played the kind of female lead in the first Matrix movie.
Yeah.
I believe she's supposed to be in it as well, as, again, their co-leads or the front-runner actors for the movie.
That'll be cool.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see what happens there. The visually and everything, it was a very stunning movie with the first Matrix movie, and it still holds up today with even what limited effects they have. I still love that shootout scene where they first go to raid the hotel and they walk through the security detector with the guns. You know what scene I'm talking about? Yeah. And just Neo opens his jacket and it's just guns everywhere, and they're like, "What?" They just go crazy. That was a great action sequence for a movie.
Well, I wonder if the entire movie is going to have that green tint again.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, because it did have that feel.
I got tired of that.
Oh, you did?
I would be okay if they don't bring that back, but it'll be interesting to see what they do with it.
Yeah, so that'll be something to keep an eye out for. One other movie I saw a trailer for, and I will dive into the movies I saw this weekend, actually, after mentioning this, but I saw a trailer for a movie called Last Christmas, and it actually has, I believe, Emma Thompson, the chick from...
Isn't that Mary Poppins?
No,
the Mary Poppins lady.
The queen of the queen from Game of Thrones. Who? Is it Emilia Clarke? I thought I saw Thompson somewhere in the name. I apologize, but it's the girl who played Queen Daenerys. She is actually going to be this. God, what do I want to say? She's like a Christmas store clerk of sorts, and she's her costume in stores, she's like an elf, and then she runs with this guy, and they end up kind of like it's like a love story, but it's a Christmas movie as well. And
so they fall in love in a supermarket,
kind of. But no, it looks really fun. Like I was saying on the first episode of the podcast, I love seeing all kinds of movies, and this one, it looks like a really good feel good emotional Christmas type of movie to me, and so I look forward to it. It should be pretty good. And the male lead actor they have is the guy who starred in Crazy Rich Asians. Once again, I don't know his name off the top of my head. But if you've seen the movie, he's the male lead in that movie.
The handsome guy,
very handsome. Again, I don't discriminate here, man. I say Idris Elba, the Asian guy from Crazy Rich Asians. I mean, shoot, they're all delicious to me.
As he doesn't even know his name.
I don't even know his name. I'm sorry, but he is handsome. All right, I'm just saying he's a good looking dude. But so look forward to that. It's called Last Christmas. I believe it comes out early November. So keep your eyes open for that. If you want to look up the trailer, it might be on YouTube or some other website page. But yeah.
After you go and see the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, then go and watch Last Christmas.
Well, technically, Last Christmas would come out before the Trans-Siberian Orchestra show because Trans-Siberian Orchestra is at the
What?
end of the month, November
No.
30th.
That can't be.
It literally said that when we first
Christmas
talked
in
about it.
November?
I know. I do. I do admit I wish that it would have fallen more so around the holiday itself because I do like getting that build-up anticipation and just a rocking Christmas show before actual Christmas holiday. But you know, it's a good way to kick off the month of December. So it's.
Can you imagine how much we're going to be talking about Christmas when it's actually Christmas season?
Folks, I've told my coworkers they're going to be hearing me singing Christmas carols and all kinds of Christmas songs when I'm working. So
When you're working on the podcast?
working on the podcast, working at work, just working in general. I like Christmas, man. You know me. But all that being said, bringing it back to the two movies I saw this weekend were Blinded by the Light and Ready or Not. So I'm going to kick off with Blinded by the Light. For those of you that don't know what this movie is, it's inspired by a true story of this kid, Javed, who is growing up in Europe, and he's kind of feeling what's the word I'm looking for? He's like isolated, alone, just not really understood in the world he's living in with his family and social statuses, stuff going on. And
Like he's not alone. He's all alone. He doesn't quite fit in.
yeah, along those lines. And so he ends up. One of his friends recommends him listening to Bruce Springsteen, and he ends up becoming just so engulfed and encompassed by the music.
I remember the commercial for this one.
Yes, this movie was amazing, amazing. I can't say it enough. I went and saw it Friday night, and I remember walking out of that theater thinking to myself, this movie hit it out of the park for me. I would easily give it an A+ out of 5 stars, like we were talking about my grading system. But
Yeah.
it was. I could not remember. I talked to Sarah about it. I could not remember a time where I walked out of the theater and thought that movie was phenomenal and great. I didn't really have any critiques about it. It was a great storyline. Within the first 5 minutes, you really feel for the character, and it brings you on this just awesome adventure ride through his life and through his eyes, all while playing Bruce Springsteen's hits throughout the movie. And it was just, I don't know how to describe it. It was just an awesome movie to see. So if you're into that kind of thing, if it's not necessarily it's not like a musical type format as you would think with High School Musical or say
Like he's not like singing these songs at the camera.
Yeah, it's nothing like that. There will be times where him and his buddies are singing along with the lyrics of the different songs as they go through the movie.
Yeah.
But again, like you said, it's not them directly looking at the camera playing to the people in the audience. It's them just going through life and how those songs related to certain moments throughout his life. But it's just a really powerful, emotional story. Like I said, definitely check this out if you have the time. Well worth your time and money. Blinded by the Light, 2 thumbs up for me.
Yeah, I like movies where it heavily relies on music. Just being a music person.
Yeah.
It's always fun, especially if they get good music in there.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see this one too.
Yeah, you plan on seeing it this week or just at some point?
At some point.
Yeah. Like I said, highly recommended. I loved it. And I'll be honest, I even cried a little.
It's
I
got
teared
the
up.
Dylan stamp of approval.
Super stamp of approval, double stamp, bam, bam. So now, moving on to the second movie I saw, which was Ready or Not, and that, foolishly enough, I thought it had Margot Robbie as the main lead. It's actually not. It's some other chick that looks like Margot Robbie.
You're like 0 for 10 on female leads.
I know I'm bad at this.
And with the male leads, you just can't even remember their names.
As much as I love movies, I think I really got to start doing my homework on who the actors are. For the most part, I typically see movies where I know the actors in it, so I can reference certain names and stuff. But again, with Blinded by the Light, they didn't really use a big name celebrity cast. So therefore, I think I'm excused on that one.
You're telling me Bruce Springsteen wasn't the main character?
No, he was not the main character. Like I said, it was Javed.
Unbelievable.
Or the actor who played Javed. But so that was, I think I get a little grace on that one. But granted, I know there are other movies where I need to figure out who the actors are so I can do them justice. Because again, if the movie's good, if it's not, I can at least be clear on who is in the movie.
Right.
But so Ready or Not, here I go with my review for Ready or Not.
Oh.
This movie, for those of you that don't know, it's a movie where a woman marries into a family of a board game type fortune. And what they do on the wedding night is when someone's joining in the family, they tell them, okay, well, here's our time to play a game. And depending on what game we play is going to determine how the night plays out and if you're part of our family kind of thing. And so she ends up getting the game hide and seek. And so basically...
Wait, getting the game hide and seek?
Yes.
We didn't get the game hide and seek?
Well, it's kind of explains in the movie. I don't want to go
so it's
dive.
a different game.
I don't want to give too many details. It's not that it's like
if you're paying for hide and seek, you're doing something
yeah,
wrong.
no, it's not a board game called hide and seek. It's literally them playing hide and seek. But
Wait, it is?
Yes. What?
What? How do you get hide and seek,
It's
though?
like I said, I don't want to say too much because I don't want to spoil anything. And not that it's a major spoiler. I just don't want to ruin it for somebody who's interested in seeing the movie. But so anyway, she gets the game hide and seek. That's her game that she has to play to do this initiation with the family. And her challenge, and this is all in the trailer, like I usually do with these reviews or talking about movies, is I only go off trailer details. I don't really try to give everything away to you folks. Yeah, so regardless, in the trailer, she thinks that they're playing a simple game, but then comes to soon find out and realize that this family is actually going to be hunting her, and she needs to stay hidden until dawn, pretty much. And so
That's not as fun.
no, not at all when your life's on the line. That being said, though, I will say this much. Considering all the different things that are coming out in Hollywood right now, obviously there's a lot of Disney remakes from old cartoony movies with Lion King, Aladdin, all that other stuff. It's definitely an original movie, which I can appreciate because there's not a lot of that going on in Hollywood right now. So original concept, good enough storyline. Like how you were kind of hinting with the Matrix thing. Some of the shots in the movie, since it's played in a mansion, it's a little dark and there's almost like a brown tint to a lot of the shots, maybe like a brownish blue in certain rooms.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think maybe the lighting could have been a little bit better. I know they were trying to set like a dark ambiance throughout the film, but just a little would have helped. I think ultimately I'd say it was a good movie, but not the greatest. I think a lot of people are on the hype train for like, oh, it was so amazing. I don't know if I necessarily fall into that category. It was good, but I wouldn't say it's,
Yeah.
And so just a content warning too. This movie, it does have a lot of F-bombs. I would have to think it's rated R because of it. But so if you're interested in seeing a kind of suspenseful, scary movie, and I know they mentioned this in the trailer too, where I think it's the dad or one of the other people chasing her down is saying that they're trying to hunt her for like a sacrifice kind of thing. So if stuff like that kind of worries you, it spooks you a little bit, maybe don't see the movie. And again, with a lot of vulgar words being said, again, if you're sensitive to that, then don't check this movie out. But my wife is saying corn. Oh, gore.
There's lots of corn in the movie.
There's corn in this movie. I didn't know what she was mouthing to me. Sorry about that, folks. Yeah. So anyway, there is gore. People, as like I said, they are hunting her. So in the process of hunting, stuff happens. Go figure. But anyway, if you're fine with that stuff, go check it out. It was, like I said, fine enough. Happy there's an original movie in Hollywood in the theaters right now. So yeah.
Well,
yeah.
If I may,
If you may.
I did an interesting thing today.
What was that interesting thing?
Well, let me make this official first. We're going to transition into our sports section.
Bar, 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 bar.
That wasn't the same theme song as last week.
No, it was. I don't even remember what the theme song was from last week when I tried it, man. It was all just off the top of my lips.
To the top of your lips.
Top of my lips.
Anyway, let me get into the sports section.
Do you still have that echo on?
A little bit.
I will say that was pretty nice though. That transition.
Sounds fun though. Okay, I'll turn it down a little bit.
Yeah.
But anyway, to transition to this, I did my fantasy football draft today,
Yay.
and it was fun. Most drafts I come out of, and I feel lousy about it.
Mm-hmm.
Not this one.
No?
I feel pretty good about it, yeah. We have a 10-man league, which, of course, those are going to be stacked teams.
Yeah, 10-team league. For the...
Yeah, if you do a 16-team league, you got to be a genius.
Yeah.
So it's not exactly hard what we're doing here, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be action-packed, and I can't wait to get into it.
Right.
And I'm wondering what you think of my team.
Yeah, you say you picked a good team and you think you did pretty solid, but maybe I'll be the judge of this.
Yeah, so keep in mind there's a 10-man team.
Yes.
A 10-man league.
Yes, and you guys do play with an added wide receiver aside from the standard slot lineup,
Yes,
correct?
that's the only thing that makes us different from a standard league.
Right.
We added one more wide receiver.
Yes, and so folks, if you don't know fantasy, what happens is at least for the standardized teams, there is one quarterback, 2 running backs,
Right.
Usually 2, but they have 3 wide receivers, a tight end, a slot position, which could either mean another running back or another wide receiver, and a kicker and a defense. Am I correct?
A team defense.
A team defense. So whether you pick the Bengals, whether you pick the Patriots, Ravens, whoever.
Yeah, so like, for example, a quarterback, every 25 yards they throw, that's 1 point.
Correct.
So if they throw like 300 yards in a game, you're talking about 12 points on yards.
Right.
Every touchdown for a quarterback is 4 points if they pass the touchdown.
Right.
So let's say you have a quarterback that throws 300 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's 12 points plus an additional 8. That's a 20-point day.
Right.
Which is solid. That's how it keeps track of it. For rushing yards and receiving yards, it's 1 point for every 10 yards, 6 points for a touchdown. So that's basically how fantasy football works.
Okay.
So let me dive into my team now.
All right.
I got my boy Brady this year.
He got
Tom Brady at
Tommy
quarterback.
Brady.
I got Tom Brady at quarterback, and to back him up, I've got Mitchell Trubisky.
Okay.
I'm excited about him. He's going to be a solid backup. He was really turning it up last year.
Right.
I think he might have finished top 5 in yardage.
Really?
He might have even been top 3. Yeah, it was surprising. So I'm excited to have him on my team. We'll see how he does in this next year. This should be his 3rd season. So we'll see how he does.
Yeah.
Then running backs, this is where I got pretty risky.
Yeah.
We've been talking about Melvin Gordon.
Yep.
He's still not signed with the Chargers. I took a chance on him. Melvin Gordon,
Yep.
I believe in you.
Please
I'm
sign.
taking a chance on you. Please hear me now. Do it for me. Sign. Chargers, work with him. Give him something to work with.
Yes.
Let's make this happen for the sake of Luke's fantasy football team.
Yes. And then Gordon come on the podcast.
Yeah. So to make things even riskier, I also picked up Leonard Fournette with Jacksonville.
How's that risky?
Well, he's a little bit injury prone, it seems. If he stays healthy, though,
If he stays,
if I can get both of these guys on a team and healthy, oh my goodness,
Yeah,
that's a big 1-2 right there.
yeah, Fournette would look to run through people. Yeah, so he's a good solid back if, like you said, if he stays healthy. Because I do know he had some, like, was it leg injuries late last season or mid season?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so,
I think it was kind of earlier in the season. He missed most of it.
yeah. So
Yeah. So to back them up, I've got Marlon Mack with the Indianapolis Colts.
oh yeah.
He's a pretty solid guy, and now we're going to talk about it later.
Yeah, we will save this later, folks.
There's a
but
development with the Colts.
Yeah.
And it should mean that Marlon Mack is going to get more
carries.
carries, yeah. Let's see. Oh, talk about another risk. I
Okay.
picked up Adrian Peterson for my slot position.
Oof. Hey, for what it's worth, Adrian Peterson, even last year, I told you guys this. He's not necessarily the starting running back, but he's still solid enough to be a good backup.
He did okay. I think he was at least top 15 running back. It might have even been top 10.
Yeah. So
So-
even if your running back gets 15 to 20 points a week, that's good.
That's great. Let's
that's
be
true.
real.
That's
if
great.
you can get 10 points a week out of your running back, that's not bad.
And I think Adrian Peterson could still put up those numbers despite his age, unless he gets an injury. Again, knock on wood. Don't want that to happen, but
He's still shooting for 2,000 yards.
Yeah.
So I hope he gets it, of course. But let's see. I also have, to back them up, Carlos Hyde. That was my last pick of the draft.
Hyde, and who's he currently
He's with the
He's
Chiefs now.
Chiefs now.
Yeah.
Okay.
If he can get that running back number 1 position, that's going to be the steal of the draft.
That's true because again,
Nobody
they
else
don't.
picked him up.
Yeah, the Chiefs got rid of Kareem Hunt for scandal reasons, essentially, because he kicked a woman in the hallway or whatever. But
Yeah, for that reason, I did not pick up Kareem Hunt.
yeah,
I had the opportunity. I passed.
Yeah, because who knows? He might even be still. Is he possibly facing a suspension because of that still? Are they negotiating that or?
I have no idea.
Yeah, because I know the Browns picked him up, and I don't know. We'll find out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also have James White at the running back position.
Okay.
With the Patriots, he's a good two-way guy. So run, he'll receive.
Right.
So that's good. My wide receivers. This is also interesting. My top guy, Tyreek Hill.
Yes.
I'm excited to see how he does.
He may be on the Chiefs. He may be a rival, but dang, if he's not one of the best receivers in the league.
My, he is fast, and he's got Patrick Mahomes to throwing to him.
Yep.
I can't wait. I think that's going to be a solid pick. I also have Tyler Lockett,
Okay.
who's with the Seahawks. He should be a solid choice for Russell Wilson. And if he's not, I also picked up the rookie, DK Metcalf,
Yeah.
which this guy is a beast.
Yes, he is.
We talked about it earlier. This guy makes Calvin Johnson look small.
Yeah.
Like, he's ripped. He's huge. So I don't know if both of them could be productive. That'd be great. If
of
one or
course.
the other is productive, fine. I got both of them. I'll adapt
Yeah,
from
just
there.
switching
I
it
feel
out.
okay about that. Let's see. I also have Calvin Ridley
Oh, yes.
with the Falcons.
Yeah, solid. I mean, shoot, him and Julio Jones honestly could be split in 50-50.
Yeah.
Julio Jones would probably still be the number one slightly, but Calvin Ridley had a breakout season last year, so I think he could still be solid.
Yeah. And then talk about another risk. I picked up Larry Fitzgerald.
Well, hey, for him, I think him and Tom, I guess, age ain't nothing but a number because they're still playing good. So.
Yeah, I hope the best for him. And he's got Kyler Murray throwing to him. So we'll see if Kyler Murray can hang in there. Maybe Larry Fitzgerald will too. Let's see. So that's my biggest players. I don't know how to pronounce that. The tight end for the Browns, Njoku or something like that.
Oh yeah, and Joker. I think he was doing solid.
He was pretty solid last
Yeah.
season, and now Baker Mayfield's going to be entering his second season, and I hope. Like we've said before, the Browns are the most exciting team in the
There's
NFL
a lot of
right
hype
now.
going around about him.
So, mostly because we don't really know what's going to happen.
Right.
There's a lot of upside. So I'm hoping it's going to pay off for me. I got I also picked up the Browns defense just for fun in the later
geez.
rounds. But my good defense hopefully should be the Patriots.
Okay.
And they're not the most impressive thing all the way around, but year after year they're top 10. So,
Right, fantasy wise.
yeah, fantasy wise. So I'm going to rely on them pretty heavily. What do you think of my team?
So let's see. I like you already kind of know and you're aware of. I definitely think your running back positions has a potential for a high payout. But man, if those things don't come through with Leonard Fournette not being injury prone and Gordon not signing with the Chargers, technically that doesn't mean he can't sign with another team. But even still, it's just if something doesn't develop there, then sad to say those could be a bust.
Yeah.
But I think your wide receiver core is pretty solid all around, and even with your QBs, still pretty solid. I wouldn't say they're the best quarterbacks out of the league.
I got Tom Brady. What are you talking about?
Yeah, whatever. But and I'm not just being biased because
I know, yeah.
Well, I'm just clarifying for the listeners. I don't want them to think, oh, he hates Tom Brady.
I
Of
want
course he's
them to
not gonna-"
think that.
Yeah, well, and they probably already do. That's why I'm trying to plead my case here. I don't think Tom Brady is the worst quarterback in the NFL. I just don't think he's the greatest either. Okay, I'm just saying that to get it out there. But even that being said, I'd still give him an A- for your quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Trubisky's probably the B that's kind of like if I'm looking at both quarterbacks and how they grade together, Trubisky would be a little on the low end, Tom Brady on a little bit of a high end, and so they balance out to, like I said, about an A- B+ range for quarterbacks.
Yeah,
So-
and I added Tom Brady mostly for sentimental reasons.
Right.
My first 5 seasons in a row, I had Tom Brady as my quarterback.
You did. I knew every year. We knew Luke was going for
And
Tom
then
Brady.
people messed it up for me and started taking him.
It's okay. Just breathe.
But now I got him again.
Yes,
So
you got
whatever happens this season, at least I've got Tom Brady.
Now, how silly are you going to feel, though, if he gets injured first week?
I'm not going to feel silly. I'm going to feel sad.
Just let down.
I just want to watch him play.
Yeah.
He's my guy.
But let's see. So we went over wide receivers, running back, the high-risk potential there. Quarterback, solid. Defense, maybe just the Browns. It's probably your one weak side. I don't.
That was super late. I figured the Browns are interesting.
Did anybody pick up the Falcons or the Saints? I know they could be pretty high potential.
Somebody got the Saints. I don't know about the Falcons though.
Because I know both of them. I know the Falcons defense.
Yeah, the Falcons. I might have to look into that. I forgot about that rookie, the guy who got Rookie of the Year. What was his name? I don't know. I'll figure it out. But
I'm gonna look. You're gonna get on me for the actors' names. You don't know the player either.
I'll go ahead and look into that before we release this episode.
But yeah, there's. I know last season the Falcons had a lot of injuries that kind of screwed over their defense, and I would just like to think and hope that it was because of these injuries that with the defense getting just beat up so much by other offenses and whatnot when they were playing their games, therefore their offense had to be on the field and really try to make up points, getting into like these holes and stuff. Hopefully with a healthy team, they can be solid. I know for me, a couple seasons back, I actually had the Falcons and the Saints defense, and they would get numbers, man. They would get interceptions. They were getting sacks. They were just phenomenal for points in fantasy league. So I think they definitely have a high potential, especially if, like I said, the team can stay healthy and they don't have to worry about so many injuries.
Honestly, the top defense fantasy-wise is always a different team. Mm-hmm. And I've been pretty good in the last few years of picking them up.
Right.
So these are kind of placeholders until I find the good one.
Yeah, that makes sense because typically, I know for me personally, I don't know about you people at home if you do play fantasy or not.
You people.
You people. But I know for me what I would usually do is pretty much a week by week study and just kind of look into things, look at matchups, and not that that's a specific unique thing that only I do. But, I mean, I was dropping and picking up players left and right. I was constantly on top of things to make sure trade requests were going through or to waivers and whatnot, dropping and releasing, because I was just like, okay, this person's doing really good. I need to make sure I have them for this matchup. So,
yeah, if there aren't tiers, you're not doing it right.
Yeah. So who did you get? Did you get a kicker?
Yeah.
Oh, who'd you get?
Fairbairn?
Fairbairn?
Like Care Bear?
Care Bear.
I think that's how you say it. It's
Hermiger.
Fairbairn. Fairbairn. It sounds silly, but that's his name.
It does sound a little silly, but it does sound like something I know too, but I can't quite place it.
He's the kicker for the Texans.
Okay.
And similarly here, the top kicker in the league, fantasy-wise, is always a different guy.
Right.
I haven't been so lucky with picking up kickers in the last few years, but this year's going to be different.
Yeah.
Optimism.
All right. So let's see.
If you don't mind,
well,
I was hoping. Well, I guess never mind. You wanted to save that till the end.
Yeah,
we're gonna talk about why Marlon Mack is gonna be such a wild card here. Why he's gonna be getting more work.
Yeah.
So stay tuned till the end.
Yeah, if you don't already know, spoiler alert. But no. So I think after your fantasy league, I think we can dive into some more fun issues. Sadly, again, Antonio Brown apparently filed another grievance about the helmet issues, and I don't know if he tried to work.
Gotta be kidding me!
He tried to work another angle about it, and he got denied again. So, Antonio, stop doing this. It's not going through. It's a league-wide thing. Just stop complaining about it. Just deal with it. Put on the helmet and get on the field. Do your job.
Yeah.
Man. But then, okay. On another fun note, a little more ridiculous, even more so than Antonio Brown's helmet request over and over again. Apparently, Madden messed up with Christian McCaffrey, the running back of the Panthers. They made him black.
What?
Dude, I'm not joking. If you go to the Panthers Instagram page and everything, and even other pages too, they made his character black in the game. And
no way,
folks, if you don't know, he's a white running back, and it's so hilarious because he had fun with it. He saw the post come out. He saw that his character was black, and somebody I think tweeted out saying, "What's wrong with this picture showing the running back player and everything?" And Christian McCaffrey commented on it saying, "Oh, I don't wear hand warmers on my belt loop or whatever he said, like what he wears around his waist." And so it's funny, but Madden, how do you mess that up? I know your game's already full of other.
They just assumed all running backs are black.
Apparently, that's literally what happened, and it's just like, you guys have a job to go out there and rate these players. How do you not know the skin color of a guy.
Yeah, either that or you just say kudos to you, Christian McCaffrey. You convinced him you're a black man.
He's part of the club now, man. Lucky him. But it's just like
If there was ever a black card given to anybody, that's got to be
he got it. Yeah. He Madden flat out said he was, so he's got the card, man. But it's just ridiculous. I mean, the Madden games are already bad enough with all the glitches where I've seen clips of literally balls being thrown and balls just landing on helmets, and somehow people are still running down for touchdowns and everything.
The Madden glitches are the best.
The best and the worst. I don't get how this game gets put out every year, and I feel like at this point they're probably just putting glitches into the game for the sake of having glitches in the game. How do you mess up this bad?
I don't know.
Ugh.
It's EA. But you guys make good games. Sponsor us.
I will not comment. I like the NFL. I don't know if I necessarily care for EA games.
Yeah,
pay to play, guys.
Don't sponsor us. We don't need pity money.
Oh boy. But anyway, well, that was weird. My glasses just grinded up against the speaker here.
Your glasses are grinding against the speaker?
Yeah, I literally
That's
turned.
gross.
They grinding, son.
They need to learn their manners.
But yeah, so sadly enough, let's see. So now going into a little more serious notes, and then we'll keep moving down into like the bigger issues here. Already, preseason is not over with, but two notable injuries. Panthers, we were just talking about you, so you're first up on the chopping block here. Cam Newton was seen leaving the Patriots preseason game with a boot on one of his feet.
Dang. Not a stylish kind of boot.
No, not as stylish. I know he gets these outrageous outfits when he's doing interviews and showing up to games and stuff, but no, he had a boot on leaving the game from preseason. And it's heartbreaking. Heartbreaking. Wow. It's heartbreaking. I love Cam Newton. I think he is an underrated quarterback. I know he has his on and off seasons, but this kid has potential. I know he's one of the best rushing quarterbacks. He holds the record for the most rushing touchdowns. But just to be completely unbiased here, it seems like if his team's down in a game, he does not seem to ever have the spirit to kind of pull him back out.
Yeah.
He just kind of slumps there on the bench and just throws a towel over his head. Whatever, we're losing. It's
Bit of a whiny face.
Yeah, but again, it's like when he's on fire, he's on fire. He puts up numbers like crazy. He gets touchdowns, rushing touchdowns, passing, whatever. He can put on a show for people.
He's got emotion turned up to 10.
Yeah, and so it's just like I wish he would channel it more to try to lead his team to a comeback instead of slumping on the sidelines kind of thing. But regardless of all that, it just sucks to see that again. Your starting quarterback for the Carolina Panthers is injured, and I believe that they said they were cautiously optimistic that he'll even start week 1.
Cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, so it's probably not going to happen, and it sucks. I know a lot of coaches have talked about preseason stuff and how they don't like it because it does put players at risk like this. And if you're going to lose a player, you'd want it to be during a regular season game where it matters. Not necessarily that you want to lose a player in general, but why would you want to lose it during a game that doesn't matter at all? When you know you have your starting quarterback, your starting lineup, it's just it sucks. Right. And then the other notable injury that is what's the word I'm looking for? Disheartening. Sad for the Texans, Houston Texans. You guys lost running back Lamar Miller with an ACL injury. It looks like. Yeah, and he was. I believe he was doing pretty solid last year too. Him and Deshaun Watson helping each other out on the offense.
Bad.
So best wishes, quick recovery. Hope you don't. I know probably the season's maybe not in the cards for you, but again, hopefully you can heal up quick. And Texans, hopefully you can find something to kind of fill in that gap right now.
Yeah, it's got to be pretty rough. Like that's his career. If I get injured, I don't have to worry about somebody.
Right.
I don't have to worry about my job. But that's got to be rough, sitting on the sideline knowing you can't do anything for the next year.
Yeah, it sucks, man. There's a lot riding on it, and just when something like this happens, it always sucks to see. And like I said, let alone in preseason games where it's not even that. Not your record doesn't even matter at that point. It's just scrimmaging. You might as well be having a practice game with your own team, kind of thing. But speaking of running backs. We talked a little bit about Melvin Gordon. Still no progress there as far as the Chargers making a contract with him. But on the other end of things, on the NFC side, Ezekiel Elliott still has not confirmed or signed with the Cowboys.
It's going to be awkward.
I've been seeing articles posted as recently as to between 6 and 20 hours ago, or just a full day. So like I said, we're recording this Sunday. A Saturday article is coming out where they offered him a contract that would make him the second highest paid running back in the NFL, and he rejected it. He said no.
Who's the first highest?
I don't even know. Is it Gurley?
I don't know.
I think it was either him or I don't know, because I don't know who else would be the highest paid. I definitely don't think. I don't think it's anyone with. No, for sure it's not anyone with the Chargers.
Right.
We don't have the bank for that, but I would have to think it was Gurley, just being the other LA team. Like, I think they have a big enough bank and backing to where they could pay people that much.
Right.
So I do think it was Gurley who got the highest paid. Don't quote me on that unless you confirm it yourself. But either way, they offered him this huge contract, and he said no. I don't know the exact money amount, but even still, I think it's ridiculous. It really is at this point. I was listening to another commentator. I'm trying to remember what his name was, or his podcast. I saw like a clip from it on Facebook, and he was bringing up a pretty good point that I think bears mentioning is last year when Ezekiel Elliott was in the proceedings with facing a 6-game suspension, and how Jerry Jones went to bat for him after his incident. I don't know if it was a hit and run or whatever happened off the field, to where he was, like I said, facing the 6-game suspension.
It was a domestic abuse.
Domestic abuse, is that what it was? Okay.
Yeah.
So it was he was facing suspension for that. Jerry Jones went to bat for him, tried to like stand up to his character and really back him, help him out in a situation. Even went so far as to like challenge the commissioner himself on certain issues, and I don't know, maybe having him reduced less for a less of a suspension, other stuff like that. But he was going to war for Ezekiel Elliott on his behalf. And fast forward to today, you have Ezekiel Elliott, who is still 2 years under contract, trying to say, you need to pay more money, after Jerry Jones, your team owner, went to bat for you and did everything in his power to save you in your career with the NFL. And you're essentially spitting in his face because he made a joking comment about, oh, Zeke who? Or when another broadcaster or interviewer had asked him when they were at a training camp interview. And it's just like, dude, what are you thinking? And I'm not the only one who said this. Other commentators have talked about how this league is not necessarily made for running backs. It's made for quarterbacks, and it's made for wide receivers. Like, with all the rules and regulations, like, those are the blowout players. You can get anybody behind an O-line. If it's good enough, that running back will be a star player, and you don't need to pay them as much.
You got to do is get 4 yards per carry, and you're going to be a good running back.
Yeah, and it's sad. I mean, I'm not trying to take anything away from Ezekiel Elliott. The dude is good. He has good rushing yards. He has good rushing touchdowns. He knows how to like run through people and make plays. But he's asking way too much at this point, and I don't see any end in sight where this is going to be a good thing for him. I don't think Jerry Jones needs to pay him and even like I said, they went so far as to offer him the second highest running back contract, and he's like, nope, dude, you're still 2 years under contract. Finish that out first before you try negotiating. At least in Gordon's case, I believe his contract is up, so that's why he's trying to renegotiate with the Chargers, because he has been beneficial to the team. With Zeke, he's not even finished with that yet, and it's just like, dude, get your head out of your butt and realize that they just offered you big money and you'd rejected it. At this point, I would offer him less if I was Jerry Jones. Just flat out, honestly. Again, if you've gone to bat for the guy and you've tried to help him out in his hardship situations, and he's just essentially spitting in your face, disregarding it, like, whatever, I don't care, and you're trying to even still meet him halfway with offering him bigger contracts, and he's still saying no, what is he expecting? He wants like $150 million like for 3 years or something?
Dude, I don't know. Zeke is always like, feed me, feed me.
Yeah.
Little did the Cowboys know that he was talking about feed me solid gold.
Yeah.
He eats solid gold for breakfast.
Yeah, and it's just, like I said, these are recent reports saying he's still not showing up for practice. He's been seen on planes going to Cabo, and he's, like I said, turning down these contracts where it's just multi-million-dollar, second highest running back in the NFL.
That's crazy.
I don't get it anymore. He needs to, like I said, either pull his head out of his butt or find another league to play in. Because I don't think if the Cowboys, the biggest franchise money wise in all of sports, they're saying we're not going to pay you that much money, where does he expect to get signed from?
I don't know. He should be worried because the Cowboys have a rookie that's really doing well. They're comparing him to Alvin Kamara. I think his name is Tony Pollard.
Okay.
Pollard.
Oh, yeah.
like
I think
that.
I remember someone talking about him in the draft when we were there earlier.
Yeah, but he's been tearing it up this preseason. And I don't know. The Steelers let Le'Veon Bell go because James Conner was doing just fine.
Yeah.
So Ezekiel Elliott, watch out.
Yep.
There's another guy who can take your job.
Yep.
And if you're just going to give it up like that, he's going to take it. You never know what he's going to do.
Right, and that's why I don't get it. It's like I said, the league's not made for running backs to be the highest paid position. It's you guys come a dime a dozen, and like I said, not that he doesn't have some talent of his own, but it's like, dude, you really got to think about what you're structuring right now because you have no ground really to try to even negotiate a new contract, let alone ask for give me the highest salary that any running back's ever seen in his life.
Yeah.
It's not in your cards, dude. Just humble yourself. But
Crazy, man.
yeah, it's getting ridiculous. And so lastly, as we hinted at earlier, and speaking about humbling decisions, it's a sad day for Colts fans.
Yes.
Yesterday, it was reported that Andrew Luck has finalized his decision on retiring from the NFL. And as someone who watched his game, saw that amazing comeback in playoffs a few years back against the Chiefs where they were down like 44-10 or whatever and come back 45-44 to win it. Dude was an amazing quarterback. Can't say it enough. Great, humble dude. I remember seeing some of his highlights even today. Some of the NFL Network pages or whatever, Sports Center and stuff, were sharing clip videos of him getting him throwing passes and getting kind of hit in the process. And it was so crazy to see. He'd get hit by these people tackled by him and just be like, "Oh, that was a good hit, buddy!" Like it's complimenting the guys who were sacking him or tackling him down. And it's so crazy. He was essentially killing him with kindness, sort of thing. And but he would even say in some of the clips, he's like, "Oh, that was a good hit." He's like, "Oh, don't sweat it. It's football, man. That's the game." And he loved it. And it was kind of a heartbreaking thing to hear. I remember in one of his interviews when he confirmed that he was retiring, he mentioned, like just having the worry and the caution of thinking what injury is going to come next, how am I going to get hurt, has taken the love out of the game for him.
Yeah.
And it's such a crazy statement to make. And when you realize this guy, he cared for the franchise, he cared for football, he loved football. I can't imagine how difficult it was for him to come to that decision. And best of luck in the future for Andrew Luck. It sucks that I know some quarterbacks, even Romo, I know he lasted a little longer in the league, but same thing. He kept having those collarbone, shoulder injuries, and he wasn't being able to be healthy anymore, so he knew he had to call it. And so, again, I hope Andrew Luck can find success elsewhere. Like I said, best of luck to him. He was a great quarterback. It was great to watch you play, Andrew. Best wishes.
I think you introduced us to our phrase of the week. If you find us, let us know the phrase of the week. It's going to be best of luck to Andrew Luck.
Hey, that's a pretty good one.
Yeah. Best of luck to Andrew Luck. It rhymes. You guys got this for a full peanut M&M.
Yes. Okay.
But yeah, I know. He was my mom's favorite player.
Yeah, she's a Charger fan too, but she knew she loved rooting for the Colts because of Andrew Luck.
Yeah, the story behind that, we almost got my mom to fill in for fantasy football one year. We had like an odd number of players for a while, and we didn't know if we were going to be able to fill it.
Right.
So I told my mom, you got to help us out. We might need you to play. So she started studying, and she was going to pick Andrew Luck as her quarterback.
Right, and that was last year?
No, it was a few years ago.
A few years ago, okay.
Yeah, and ever since then, she's been following Andrew Luck. So I'm sure this is quite a blow for her as well. So yeah, we're going to miss you, Andrew Luck. We hope you have a wonderful retirement.
Yeah, and it was, it kind of sucks. I don't want to like dampen the importance of Andrew Luck retiring, but it did suck to see because it was during the fourth preseason game or third preseason game, whichever just happened. But when he was making his announcement and everything, as he was walking off the field, the Colts fans booed him, and
that's shameful.
It really is. Colts fans, I understand the season's right around the corner. You're about to start, and you just lost a great quarterback that had you guys in division championship, playoff contentions, easily get into like divisional round AFC championship stuff. That's how good of a caliber quarterback Andrew Luck was. That being said, it's still no place for anyone to then boo a player who knows he has to make this hard, difficult decision because his health is at risk. He was getting injured almost every season. And he some people, for whatever reason, they just aren't durable. I know we talked about it too, with people going up for passes and even no contact injuries where their ACL or whatever, something gets torn and it's just for whatever reason something happens. But this guy, he would do what he could to stick it out for the team, and he tried. He'd have amazing years, amazing comebacks, and again, he showed nothing but love and support to the Colts franchise. And for them to then return the favor to him by booing him out of the stadium, that's just disrespectful on another level.
These are probably the same people who say that their employers don't give them enough sick days. It's like Andrew Luck is like, it's compromising my health. And they're like, we don't care.
Yeah.
Get on the field. I can't believe it.
It's like, why? Like, the guy did so much for you guys. He gave you hope after Peyton Manning left. And
he was a good guy.
He was. He's such a lovable dude. It's like I said, I'm not even necessarily a Colts fan, but I'm an Andrew Luck fan through and through. The guy was just an awesome quarterback to see play. Even if he beat the Chargers, I was like, well, okay, at least we lost to Andrew Luck. That guy's worth it, But
yeah, it's one of those things where everything comes to an end. Andrew Luck's career as a football player, it happens.
Yeah.
And just like Andrew Luck, this podcast must now come to an end.
Yes.
We hope you've enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Feel free to contact us if there's anything you want us to talk about. We would love to get you guys involved.
Mm-hmm. And we'd love to hear what topics you have. Maybe it'll be something we're interested in. We can go on a crazy rant and debate about it for another 5, 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah. We'll debate about anything. Give us anything. But yeah, so we look forward to talking to you guys next week, and we hope you enjoy.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.
Hope to hear from you soon.